The CHFA plays a pivotal role in advocating for the rights of consumers and suppliers, ensuring that Canadians have access to safe, effective, and high-quality natural health products. Today, however, there is a very pressing issue concerning the natural health industry in Canada. 71% of Canadians incorporate natural health products, or NHPs, into their proactive healthcare. Governed by a unique set of regulations under the Natural and Non-Prescription Health Products Directorate, these products range from dietary supplements to eco-friendly household goods, all aimed at promoting health and wellness. However, the landscape of this industry is facing potential upheaval. Health Canada's proposed regulatory changes threaten to impose an unprecedented level of scrutiny on NHPs. These alterations could have far-reaching consequences, impacting Canadian businesses, increasing prices, and limiting product choices on store shelves, a scenario that could be detrimental in these inflationary times. Today, we seek answers and insights from Aaron Skelton, CEO and President of the CHFA, and Jules Gorham, Director of Regulatory Affairs and Policy, to understand the implications of these changes and what they actually mean for consumers and stakeholders. Let's see what they have to say. Aaron, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you and all that you're doing at the Canadian Health Food Association. We are here at the Enercare Centre, Toronto, local, first year in this venue. How are you finding it so far?
Oh, it's been an excellent show. Small correction, second year actually that we've been here, but it still feels like the first time. No, it's been great. A great venue, a great setup, and a really great vibe this year. What we've seen in the near term, what is acutely affecting us, is really three major changes. The first is a labeling regulatory change that happened last summer, and that's where Health Canada has now mandated larger font sizes, different font contrasts, which has really made it hard for manufacturers in terms of updating those labels and still making them legible, readable, and effective for consumers. The second one was the inclusion of natural health products in Bill C-47, which is around Vanessa's Law, and that's really expanded the powers of Health Canada for fines and for recall. And the third, and probably the most concerning and pressing issue, is around mid-May when they announced their intention to roll out cost recovery on the industry. Now, cost recovery is actually included in the 53 recommendations, so industry is open to that concept, but the methodology, the timing, and the way that this is rolled out with a complete lack of meaningful consultation with industry is really what has driven the concern for us.
So consumer impact, how will the new regulations and labeling requirements directly affect consumers, particularly in terms of product availability, pricing, and diversity of choice in natural health products?
Yeah, so we're lucky that we had commissioned a report with Deloitte at the beginning of this year on the economic state of the NHP industry and what the impact of the labeling updates, which were the regulations that passed in 2022, would be on industry. So excluding the recent cost recovery initiative. And in that report, what we found is we've got a $5.5 billion industry that is thriving, both domestically and internationally. An industry that contributes $2.8 billion to the Canadian economy through tax revenue. So a great story for Canadians, while employing 54,000 Canadians from coast to coast. So this is a good news story and a good economic story for Canadians. With the labeling updates that Health Canada has proposed and the regulations that have passed, 1 in 5 companies in Canada have said they will move to the US because of the over-regulatory burden that they would feel. 76% of those would have to remove products from shelf because they simply couldn't afford to carry the breadth of products. And a vast majority of them would actually have to reduce headcount, so reduce employment within Canada. So we will have less Canadian companies making compliant products. We'll have less products available on shelf. And to your point, the products that remain are going to go up significantly in price. And this is all happening while nothing is being done to control the unregulated and unmonitored products that Canadians can access through international online marketplaces. So with the mandate of Health Canada to keep Canadians safe, they're really falling short of that mandate.
So let's talk innovation and new product development. I'm sure everyone wants to know how the impending regulations expected to influence innovation within the industry, and of course, what steps are being taken to ensure continued development and introduction of new products occurs.
This is probably one of the more concerning issues that I think we see. The new cost recovery regime will actually impart significant, extraordinary costs to simply applying for new innovative products. And the effect that that's going to have is research and development in the Canadian market will be stifled. No one is going to want to put the efforts and resources into developing these products when they know that the financial feasibility of it actually going to market is going to be strained by these new cost recovery fees. So that will just have a trickle-down effect of less innovative products in the Canadian market, less new products that will show up on shelf for Canadians to access, and ultimately that innovation will now sit on international online marketplaces, which unfortunately have not the same regulatory oversight and don't have the same confidence from Canadians that it will keep them safe.
Thanks so much for being with me, Jules.
Thanks
here at
for
the
having me.
CHFA 2023. The years fly by. Wonderful crowd, big, a lot of engagement going on here. And balancing in safety, accessibility. Can you elaborate on CHFA's stance on finding a balance between ensuring consumer safety and maintaining accessibility to a wide range of NHPs?
Yeah, I don't think anybody in industry is against that balance. The safety and health of Canadians is our driving light, right? That's what we all strive to be. We are proud of the regulations that we have built. This started, years ago in 2004. It's like I said, it's world renowned. Countries like Australia, New Zealand, even the United States. We've been in conversations with brands in the United States who are very concerned in issuing trade complaints because they want to get their products into Canada. They want to be compliant because our standards, again, are so high that it's a product to be trusted even for them out of the United States. So safety is our priority. We are well in agreement with certain parts of the proposed regulations when it comes to site inspections, when it comes to thorough testing. 100% Canadians deserve to trust what is in their natural health product, be it bottle or container or packaging. We're not in agreement. There has to be a reasonable way for that to be achieved at a greater level than it is already, because it's already pretty robust, but in a way that allows innovation,
right,
new products to come to market, right, that allows a startup company to be innovative and bring
not
something
going to squash
market.
the small guy.
You cannot squash this. And even the big guys, which we have a few in Canada, really, they're 80 to 90% of this industry is small to medium business. But you speak to the big players, of which there are a few, even they are supporting because they know that small business is what brings innovation. It's what brings new ideas. So we need this to be, a balance, and we're there for it. We just need help to come to the table with us so that we can find a solution.
But off camera, you were saying that one of the most common comments around this issue is that most folks, or a lot of folks that is, don't even know that the supplement industry is regulated. Let's start there, because it's unbelievable to me.
No, it's a good place to start. So, we are posting a lot. We are trying to get the word out there, not only about the campaign, but also, to promote industry. It's a wonderful industry. It's a thriving industry in Canada within our space. And I think when we do post, there's a lot of support out there. Canadians are really answering the call. They're really using their voice to support and say these products are important to me in my life, in my home, and with my family. But most of the, I'll say, more negative comments are actually just people who don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And I think there's a lot of Canadians still who probably use natural health products every day, but don't realize that Canada has one of the most stringent, but also world-renowned regulatory systems in the world.
Right, it's impressive.
It's impressive. Other countries look up to us. We really want Canadians to know that when you use a natural health supplement, if you look at the bottle or the container, because it's so many different types of products, but when you see an NPN number, that product has been approved by Health Canada, right? A lot of information has to be submitted in order to get that approval to sell to Canadians. And it's a system that we should all be proud of. And it's a system that Canadians should know and trust because it was put in place to protect the safety and health of Canadians.
Advocacy efforts, let's talk about that. What ongoing advocacy efforts is CHFA involved in, and how can concerned individuals and businesses actively participate and make their voices heard?
Yeah, so the way that we've addressed that is we've launched our saveoursupplements.ca, which is a fantastic website if you want more information on what the issues are and how that will affect you. On that same site, though, there's a bunch of assets and tools that can be downloaded or accessed. And really the main driver that consumers or businesses can use to affect this issue is to get in touch with their politicians, get in touch with their local MPs, and make sure that their concern and their voices is heard. At the end of the day, we have tried to work with Health Canada. We have tried to explain our concerns and where stakeholders in industry thinks things need to go. But at this point, it has become political. And by meeting with your MP, conveying what your concerns are in your riding with your constituency, that is going to be the way that we impact change at this point.
So on the saveoursupplements.ca website and all these tools that both individuals and also stakeholders and businesses can get involved in, any tips that you've seen are perhaps more effective in engaging with, let's say, your MP, reaching out to them personally, maybe changing the template of the letter to make it more, individualized?
At the end of the day, if you're a constituent in a riding for your MP, that MP works for you. And they need to listen to you on what your concerns are, because at the end of the day, they are in their role because you are voting them into their role. So when meeting with MPs, I can appreciate it can initially feel intimidating. But these are people just like you and I who have a job and are trying to fulfill that job to the best of their ability. So when you meet with them, conveying your personal story, how it relates to you, how it will impact you, taking the templates and the tools we've provided and making them really reflect your personal position is always a recommendation.
Well, we know that the postcard campaign and the electronic at saveoursupplements.ca, there's an electronic format of the postcard. By entering, your simple postal code information, you can send off a letter. We know that has generated more letters than any other campaign in the last 20 years of Canadian history. So we've tried to make it very educational. We've tried to make it extremely simple for the people who wish to get on board to use their voice in Ottawa, and that is exactly what we need. We need everybody, industry and concerned Canadians, to lend their voice to this, be it a postcard, an electronic, or even a call or an email or a meeting with their member of parliament, because that is where we are going to make a difference. Members of parliament need to listen to constituents. They need to know what is important to their constituents so that can be a conversation in parliament, on the Hill, now that they're all back in Ottawa.
Well, your insights, your hope, and your enthusiasm is contagious.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you so much for everything that you've been doing.
Thank you so much.
You have a pen because I'm going to get my
Yes,
1000th
we have
postcard
to
out
send
there.
postcards. We have to
saveoursupplements.ca.
saveoursupplements.ca, that's the spot.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Jules.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you, Canada.
Got to stand strong and stand strong together. Thank you so much, Aaron, for all that you do with the CHFA as CEO and the industry at large.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.